Welcome to my channel. I'm Linda from Purple Rose Digital, and today I'll show you how to make my shabby mini folio. So we'll start with the cover. The trick I like to use is to put it inside the paper I cut it out from, so I can see where to score and fold. So we'll use it as a guide, and we'll score the two spines and the middle line on the inside of the cover. And then we can fold the inner lining in. And we can score that spine on the front side of the inner lining. You can fold that spine. It's easy to use a ruler and just fold it. Fold the front spine and make sure your inner lining doesn't go over the spine there, otherwise it will catch when you open and close your mini folio. So it looks like a little box, and now we can do the belly band or the closure band. It will go on that second panel and it will be hidden on the inside. And you can just check your placement, see where you want to place it, but more or less in the middle of the panel should be fine. And then you can open that cover lining again, and you can glue that onto that second panel from the front flap. You can use any glue you like. I just use a normal glue stick. So we're going to place it again. We're going to place it in the middle of that second panel. Just check your alignment before the glue dries. Double check everything's fine, and then you can go ahead and glue that inner lining. Glue that nice and flat onto the front or outer part of the cover. Just make sure it's nice and flat, especially there where the band is. And just let that dry before we use it again. So now we can do the pages of the mini journal. You can glue the two strips together using the glue flap. Just make sure you get your glue everywhere on that little flap. And make sure it's aligned nice and straight. And let that dry before you start folding. Okay, so we'll fold the first part inwards towards the print, and then just keep folding back and forth, accordion style, concertina style, if you will. Just carry on folding back and forth until you get to the end, and make sure you align it properly. You can adjust it a little bit as you go along, just to make sure all your page edges are more or less the same. We'll just make a neater looking mini journal if it's aligned nice and straight. And that last fold, and now you will see it looks like a long spring concertina style fold. And now we can start gluing it back to back. We leave the front flap and the back flap we leave for now, because that will be attached to our cover. So we start gluing on the second part, the second page really. Glue the first and the second page back to back, and just continue gluing back to back, making sure everything is nice and flat and aligned properly, and just continue gluing all the pages back to back, leaving your front and back flap a bit open for now, as you can see. And there you've got your pages. Make sure there's no glue sticking the pages together, and just let that dry for a bit. Once that's dried, you can glue it into the cover on the first panel using that front glue flap. So let's just fold that spine. So we'll glue it there. Make sure it doesn't go over the spine, so align it so that it's on the left side of that spine, and make sure you get your glue all the way to the edges. And just glue it in. Make sure you align it in the middle lengthwise, and then not going over the spine. Make sure it's nice and flat, especially up to the edge of the spine there. And there you have your mini journal. I'm just getting rid of some glue. Now we can do the fold out folio. So again, I will use the paper I cut it out from as a guide, and we score that middle spine and the two folds. And this time we're going to score on the front, because this is the part it's going to fold towards the print. And score the spine. And the two flaps. If you're using a carpet knife like I am, just be careful you don't go all the way through. So just slightly score it, and then we can fold those flaps in. And fold the spine as well. It's a bit easier to do with a ruler. Okay, now I will show you how to make the accordion pocket, as this is the most difficult pocket to make, as we will be folding the side flaps 3 times, so it's a little bit difficult. So you can score that bottom flap, and then score the side flaps. Just fold that over, then you can score the side flaps right on that line where you see the flap starting, the glue flap starting. Score right on that line there on the inside or back side, if you will. And we fold that in, so it looks like this now. And misaligned that one a little bit. I'm just going to bring it in slightly. All part of crafting is making mistakes. And there we go. Fold that nice and flat. And now we're going to score on the front side, on the print side, 2/3 in. Oh, sorry, a third in, because we're going to do another fold. So you don't want to go in the middle, you're going to go a third in from the side. So if you want to measure it to be precise, you can do that. It's about 3 millimeters. Yeah, a third of the way in. So just score that a third of the way in. Do the same on the other side. If you're using thin cardstock like me, you don't actually have to score that much. You can just fold straight away, but it does give a neater fold if you score everything. So now we're going to score on the back again, a third in from the outside of the flap. Scoring on the back, third of the way in on the outside, and now we're going to fold this little flap another 2 times. You can use your ruler. So it's also a concertina or accordion style fold. Just make sure it's aligned nice and straight. Doesn't have to be perfect because it is hard being so small, but as long as you have your 3 folds and it's not sticking out past the side of the pocket, then it's all good. So just fold that in, the last fold of that one, and press it nice and flat. I'll try to show you a bit closer what it actually looks like. So I hope you can see that. Looks like a little M or W shape. And now we can glue it onto our fold out folio. Okay, you can decide on which side or which way around you want to do it. Actually, actually think I'm going to do it the other way around today. Let's just get some glue. I think the easiest is to first put the glue on the bottom glue flap, and then get that in place on your folio. I think I'm going to do it on this side instead of the side with the flaps. You can do it however you feel like doing. Once you've done that flap and it's dried a bit, you can put some glue. You can place some glue on the accordion glue flaps that we folded just now, and then glue that in place. This is a bit tricky. A thin double-sided tape would probably work much easier if you have some of that, because these are so small. But if you're using a stick, just try and get glue onto that last part of the flap, and then just press it down. Make sure it's not sticking over the side, just tuck it in there. Press that down nice and firm. Make sure it stays put when we're using it. And there you go, that's your accordion pocket. And now just let that dry before we play around with it too much. Now we can do the other pocket. You can mix and match the pockets however you like. I think I'm going to use this I'll use the floral tall one, and I think I'll also put it with the opening towards the outside. You can do it the other way around, doesn't really matter. Fold in with these small little pockets. I find it easier just to fold in all the flaps with the glue on and then stick it in there. Make sure you don't go over your spine when you glue any of your pockets or your spine or the fold. Okay, so that's a tall vertical pocket. Now we can add these small guys. They are very tricky, probably more difficult than any part because they are so small, but they look so cute. So you can just add one, or you can do both if you feel like doing top and bottom. Again, you can play around with the pockets however you like, mix and match it. There we go, that's that one. Let's do the other one. You can also do it the other way around. I think I'll do it the same direction. Get that nice and flat. And now we can glue the fold out folio onto the journal. So you use that back flap of the journal and you glue it onto that back of the panel of the fold out folio, the one without the flaps. You can also glue the back of the folio to the cover of your journal. I like to keep it loose and put an extra pocket there. Just make sure you get your glue to the edges. And then make sure you align that panel of the fold out folio with the glue flap of your journal. Just align it nice and straight. And there we go, that's your folio glued onto the journal. And as I said, you can glue the back onto the back panel. I like to keep it loose. So I have a bunch of other pockets you can use. I'll put some on that back that I've kept open, and I like to put some on my journal pages as well. I've sped up the video here because this is the easier part. You can just glue all the flaps and glue the pockets however you wish to glue them into your journal. I'll place some pockets here on that last part I left open or loose. If you didn't glue that in flat, you can put some pockets there as well. You don't have to use all the pockets, it's completely up to you. There you go, now you can start placing your ephemera, little pages and doilies and stamps and all that. You can start placing into your pockets, and it looks so cute, and have a nice play around. It's where you want to place them. So thank you for watching, and make sure to check my Etsy shop, Purple Rose Digital, for more fun items to make. There you go, that is so cute. Now you can enjoy your cute little folio.